thank you very much. I think you have a very good style for Mozart. I think you have a lot of colors and very, very shifting moods and characters. What I might wish perhaps is even more less compromising somehow feeling for this exceptional sonata, which is really tragic and really very strong. And I mean, it's very untypical for Mozart to have. It's like it's prevailing tragic mood in spite of like the second so-called theme, which is just 16th notes, and it doesn't have really definite second theme. I think that you can be even clearer with pointing out those somehow harshnesses and those kind of. It's really kind of obsession with this repeated chord. This somehow I think it might come even more out somehow, because it's very and also strange to start with this chromatic. So maybe a little bit more strong, even stronger. This beginning, okay. I would say. No, maybe not. Of course, pedal is good. I don't mean that it should be just this rhythm, but somehow maybe more. Very severe. I don't know how you feel this, but it's very. You can have a totally different opinion, but I just think it might be even stronger.
Yeah,
message.
I can't find the word, but I think I can agree with you. But I just read about the sonata that
yes.
Mozart wrote it about the same time when his mother died.
Exactly.
So that
yes.
has affected a lot on me, how
yes.
I feel about this.
Yes, I was actually going to say it, but good that you said, because I mean, it's very dangerous to say that the external circumstances, external life would affect a certain piece, and it's not. One cannot draw direct conclusions about the composer's life and the works, but in this case, since it's so exceptional, one of the two minor sonatas, and this is even the more somehow I think more strong than the C minor, somehow more specific. So I would say that's even really on this context. I would say that the development section can also be, I would say, even until the end, it could be a bit more strong. He uses this dotted rhythm all the time, this march kind of rhythm, and it prevails. Somehow, this is all the time present. This there are like two things: this repetitive chords. And the dotted rhythm. These two elements are everywhere. Even in the so-called second theme, you have, in a way, like it's like when you think that that there is this connection. It's quite remarkable, I think, because then you see it in this light that it's not really a contrast. There's no real contrast to the main theme. And when you get to the recapitulation, you have it's even more. It's then it's like trying to be a little bit softer, mellower with the. For 1 second, but then you have again, and then it's like at this. This is a really the ending is quite quite severe and quite strong, and this is totally like a turmoil. It is something has gone out of order, I think, in this piece. I would say, yeah. But anyway, that's a general thing, and I think it's good. You understand very well the moods and feelings. So I would suggest that you would do it even stronger.
Okay.
Can you just please start from the beginning?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more gentle than here, more tender. A little bit more something heartfelt. Can it be there? You can sing more. This calando. Listen to the soprano. Like echo. Okay, it's nice. The second part, I think you can add some kind of spirit to this left hand when you have this Albert bass. A little bit more life there, more exciting, more exciting. He tries to be positive, but you know it's. It is something like self-assuring here. He tries to forget maybe, but you have this is also like a fight, maybe a fight if we think about this tragic idea, maybe the inner fight of his soul or his mind. So he tries to overcome this pain somehow.
I think it's like he's convincing himself.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, but maybe it can be a little bit more like painting. Start from starting point, but then you can get more rhythmic. Maybe like this, a little bit broader, I would wish. I would just like to return to this beginning of the development. Perhaps you can do something a little bit different here. I think perhaps because this is so strict and severe, so harsh chord. But maybe here, since it's in major, something different. It's still kind of transformed, I find. What do you think? This mood is not totally so.
Yeah, I see.
Because otherwise it sounds a bit maybe a little dull or a little bit not so sophisticated. If you play there, because it's still different. So maybe you can, like it starts like more singing, but then you get to this very harsh place. So this beginning is a little bit more optimistic, I find. Transformation of the main theme. Right. Maybe sometimes you can think about the line a bit more. So, of course, it's very severe, but at the same time, you have this polyphony. Maybe you can do both. It's also very strict, but it has some kind of elements which are linear, not only ta ta ti ta tam. And what I actually meant about the beginning of the development, in more simple terms, we can have a little bit more pedal.
I'm fine with that.
I just actually you did it, but yeah.
It makes it more lyrical and
yes. So it was as simple as that. So, so why don't you just do once more from the development
with
beginning?
more pedal. Yeah.
Ta-da! Yes. Yeah. So show more the ya da da da, and perhaps then, since it's fortepiano and fortepiano, so the prevailing nuance is piano. Probably where you start, it's not written, but I would say that it would be around piano when it starts. Not forte. The beginning is obviously forte, but in the very beginning of the piece, but it's not written. But I mean it's obvious because here you have a piano, tan 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 taram. But here I would say it's probably piano cantabile something. You can try with pedal.
It's fun because the fortepiano marking is like different than usually. There's forte and then a gap and then piano.
Exactly.
Does it make any difference?
But very often, by the way, when Mozart writes fortepiano, very often it can mean like a round accent, so like a longer accent, so that it gets like a forte and diminuendo, like ti da di da di da da. Here is clear he writes the piano on the second eighth note, but very often he just writes the fortepiano. It can be, for instance, in the slow movement, there are this ti da 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 ti da da da.
It makes the note just longer.
Yes, a bit longer, and then kind of rather diminuendo than subito piano after. Because when you have sforzato, sforzato is different.
Yeah, but I think in the slower movement there are some sforzatos
as well, yes.
And it doesn't quite fit.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. That's true. All right, once more from development section.
Yes.
Good, yes.
I don't know, because he repeats things twice. Usually I'd like to make the second time always like piano, but I don't think if it's a good idea.
Maybe it's a little bit too much, that you too much as a like a echo effect, this typical, this very usual effect. Yeah. But I think in this case it would be a little bit too formal somehow for me. Okay. I think it's very stormy here. Maybe show more. Maybe you could go gradually a little bit less second time. Maybe and then grow again, because that is very strong transition to the recapitulation. It's very obvious, but it's very strong how he is written. It's really preparing it really strong. So tim taram taram daga 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 ta 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 di da da da. Can you do from here, please? Maybe a little bit more clear. More rhythmic. Yes, more rhythmical.
Okay. And then which?
And the left hand very much dynamics. Yeah, what? Maybe.
It's
more
hard.
right hand more.
Yeah.
So here the left hand takes the lead, and it is very important that you play very clearly this part. Tim pam padam tam ta ti tam ta da tam tam ta yan da ga da ga da ga. Everything very well articulated also. Yes, very good. Yes, okay. So, and this part, this calando, which first time it was short, this is longer calando, and it's, I think it's really sad somehow. This. He's really upset. I mean,
It's more what I want, but I can't make it like in the piano section.
But do more this left hand. A little bit more tenuto. One thing, what do you think, what is the difference between and how do you feel the 16th note? Do you feel that it's somehow different in articulation or in something dynamics, or what do you think?
I think that because it's in original key,
yes.
You know, it's more like the beginning, deeper and somehow stronger, maybe.
Maybe stronger in the character.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking because this is still, if you play here. Still, it's a rather open. Well, not like, of course, not very optimistic, but just open in sound. And I would think that it might be the thing that is not so open, like. As you said, more deep. So how do you get this minor mood, this A minor mood? You see what I mean? It's maybe not so effectively articulated. It's not needed to be, you know, like.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Because it's a kind of little bit. It's taking away the atmosphere. Because if you play so clearly, then it becomes a little bit too abstract. Not so. You don't get this sorrow or this kind of melancholy. Because somehow darker. How you get it darker? I think as when you play a little bit more legato, perhaps, and more the lower notes, less bright, less.
Okay. Yeah.
And maybe some kind of timing things, because then you can use a little bit more time. For instance, here. You see, something like a little bit stretching or getting a little bit more into the inner feeling. Okay. Not so
open and
yes,
bright.
Exactly. It's difficult to say what makes something sound sad and what makes it sound happy, or in spite of the tonalities.
Just play happy.
in spite of major and minor. I mean that what you should do. Of course, what you get, how you get more somber or more shaded sound. You emphasize a little bit more the lower voices instead of. They are nearer to each other. The levels. here really. Something like, try that, please. Like painting. No. Good. I liked very much your ending now. Yeah. It's really, it was good timing, very good timing with those big chords, those diminished chords. And everything, also the closing cadence before the last bars. You had this very, very good feeling, you know. I think it was very convincing what you did. So maybe we can go to the second movement now. Yeah. There's something with the trill. You play to do early. You have the.
Do I start it from the C if it's like after?
Yeah, yeah, but it's. Yes, I think so. Yes, sure.
Okay. But it's usually from above.
Yes, but in this case, I would do it on the note. Somehow it's not totally polished, but I think somehow I mean it's a little bit. There's some kind of, maybe it's the piano also, but I think somehow to be a bit more. Of course, it's not easy going, but there is something very warm, and it's a little bit. For me, sounds a little bit much the fortes in the here. I don't know why. It's just maybe everything acoustics and.
Is it like hard?
A little bit hard, yeah, a little bit harsh.
Okay.
Yes,
it's a bit hard to make the beautiful warm piano.
Right. Something of the fluency, I would wish more. That I can't explain it now. What I'm aiming to. Okay. Yeah, that you go a little bit over the bar lines and somehow over the beats, because you should go. I mean, for instance, the first phrase when it goes to the D minor. I think it goes until the D minor chord. So you should somehow go further. Let it flow until that point when you have the cadence to D minor. Try this first. maybe I would say ya da di da da da.
Okay.
But because it's not connected. I mean, it's connected, but it's not the same slur. So you have. And if there is a division within, it's of course here. Ya dam. But it's the inner division of this longer phrase. Don't do it too short. The bass. Leave the bass. I would not do from the thumb. Actually, I would do 2-1 because if you do from the thumb, then suddenly you are not able to continue. Of course, you can, but I mean, in a way, the other fingering gets you there where you want to go. And why not thumb here? Ta-dam! Right. Don't lift your left hand in the A. Yum. Crescendo. It's a matter of taste. I would not do so big thing from this 30 seconds. I would do, because you have so many appoggiaturas, and that's of course very tender thing that you have the appoggiaturas always. There's but if you do too much, it gets a little bit heavy.
Yeah, it's much romantica.
Yeah, I think. To that that's the where we are aiming. That's the goal. I think it's of course. Yes, and continue. Yes, maybe lighter.
Lighter, okay.
You have portato. Da 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 da. Yes. Unless. It comes very loud somehow here. I know. But I know. But I know that you would not play harshly. I mean, it's just it becomes. You must be very more careful.
Yeah. How to play soft trills? I don't know.
Yes.
Do you move just the fingers?
No. You can have this kind of rotation.
But, does it make any difference if you are here or?
I would, if for instance here, when you have a piano, you should get lighter. Then you would not to go deep into the keys, but rather on the surface. No, not on the surface totally, but just not to the bottom of the key. Exactly.
But with the pedal or not?
Little pedal you could have. It gets loud.
Yeah.
Yes, it gets loud. Yeah. Now you got it.
Yeah, I think I have to practice. Yeah.
Yes, this rotation. Yeah, and then it gets lighter somehow. Do we have it? Ti-da-tum. Yes.
Yeah.
You have it also separate. Ti-da-dum, not ti-da-dum, but ti-da-dum.
How it fits to the singing style, I don't know.
But you can show it. The ti-da-dum. Yes. Ti-da-dum. Yeah, and here you have basically you have a legato here. Not staccato. Yes, so this is the typical forte piano with a diminuendo. So it's emphasizing the beginnings of the slurs. It can be actually not a big deal, not a big thing. I would not do it very much, but it's and then don't get less because you have a crescendo actually.
It's crescendo until where?
Yes, I think it is. Well, I would maybe not do it forte totally, but I would broaden it a little bit towards the end because it goes very high and it says that maybe it's larger in the end. It's a very long phrase. I think it's a ta-yam ta-ta. Yes. Sing. Light, almost scherzando. Yes. Somehow you need this tenuto, but within the flow I would do it. So that it's not getting slower. So you can accelerate a little bit unnoticeably the ends of those slurs, those groupings. Goes here. Yeah. Deep. Yes. Yes. Deep. Yes, good. Is it like this might be an arpeggio because it has a this quarter notes. Two lower notes are quarter note, and then you have the long dotted half note. So I would do it as an arpeggio.
Okay.
So here, it's interesting.
It reminds me of something. Yeah.
I just it came to my mind that whether this is somehow connected to the first movement, although it doesn't have anything specifically. The mood is not similar, but I don't know. Maybe it's somehow still reminding of something. That's very serious. It's very serious. I find. Try please. But piano. Still more. I mean, I think it could be still a little bit more.
Yeah, it's both.
Not yet piano because the later comes. I think you should do a little bit more about this calando, a little bit somehow, bit more significantly, because it's returning to the F major, and it's really this is the calming down of the storm. So all this, maybe you can be stronger here. So you have time to calm down to when the waves are gone. So, but it's a big statement and a big happening here in the calando. It can make it like rather much. You can do much ritardando and then, but then stay on in the tempo that you reach. I think perhaps. Can you do from this place here somewhere? Even more. Now I think that you don't feel. You feel very anxious somehow.
Okay.
You are not settling down enough, I find. Okay. Really. Yeah, this somehow this turn is very important. Maybe just put some pedal. It's so warm, this part. Yeah, please. So little doubts. We are coming home. It's like, but it says some doubts. But then all the what do you say? The clouds are going away here. Again, very bright and very simple. This is basically the same, but you have some things here. You can do from here. Maybe there. Little bit. Try to do it. A little bit. It sounds a bit harsh. More soft there, please. It comes quite loud. I don't know. This. Maybe it's just the piano, but
I don't know. I just
because it's not really forte, I think here.
Yeah, maybe I have to read it more like specifically.
Do from there once more. Yes. Yes, you could be very calm in the end. And when you have the crescendo, try not to show it very much. I think it comes by itself in a way because it goes to the low register. Yeah. So you don't need to specifically show the crescendo very much. I would not do it. I would rather do a lot of rallentando because it fits this ending very well.